thanks for joining us tonight. Both of you are new to our gym, so just a little background. We do these healthy nutrition talks once a month. We usually do them on the last Monday of the month. However, that was my daughter's birthday this month, so we picked a different day. But if you guys ever have something you want us to talk about, we are always open to suggestions. So definitely let us know if there's something that's on your mind. But tonight, what we're going to do is we're going to talk about some healthy swaps. Lots of times when we are looking for a way to change our diet, we are overwhelmed with where to start. And so what we're trying to do for you guys tonight is get you to realize that by just making a few changes, we can actually see quite a bit of progress. And so that's the goal tonight. We want to make you, help you to kind of move to that road of progression in a way that feels natural and easy. So hopefully we answer some questions for you. All right. Okay, do you want to just start with that part right there? The first step to eating.
Yeah. So the first step to eating fewer foods high in calories, fat, salt, sugar, is to swap them for something healthier, including more fruits, veggies. Small, tiny changes can make a huge difference when it comes to your nutrition goals and changing your diet.
Yep. So we already know that fried potato chips or fried French fries, which we all love, and there is a time and a place for those, aren't necessarily the best option. Did you want to say something?
No.
Okay. Sorry. But obviously there are studies that show that it does move us into that category. It can move us into that category of obesity. And so finding a different way to enjoy salty or crunchy things is awesome. So one recommendation is, and maybe you have or have not tried this. I've actually tried it one time. Kale chips. Have you guys tried kale chips before? I know it might sound unappetizing, but it's actually not bad. So what you do is you roast them in the oven until they get crunchy, and they actually are really good and sometimes can really help you to satisfy that crunchy craving that you might have. We have a couple other ideas as well. Do you have anything that pops out to you?
I actually, in a frying pan, I take a can of chickpeas and I take ghee, which is like a clarified butter, and I sprinkle it with whatever seasoning that I want to do, and I let them brown up and cook, and we'll eat them sometimes just by themselves, or I like to put them on top of my salad too.
Oh yeah.
And it gives it like a good crunch. They're amazing. It's my favorite. Yeah.
Yes, I need to try that because I've seen you post about your chickpeas on your salad before.
I love them.
So yeah, that's a good option. I mean, you can go to the easy go-tos like celery and carrots and hummus, things like that, that are crunchy. But sometimes it's nice to have like that really salty thing. So sometimes you can try, what I've tried is flavoring things with buffalo sauce. So buffalo sauce is spicy and really flavorful. So I'll add that to like cottage cheese or things like that. And then I'll use my vegetables to dip in that. So I'm still getting a lot of flavor with my vegetables. I have another idea. This is something that I started carrying in my house, especially for my kids. I don't know if you guys have seen these popcorners. They sell them at Costco. Oh, they sell them anywhere, but they also sell them at Costco. They are only 2.5 grams of fat and 20 carbs for a bag. And because they're in individual sized bags, it's pretty hard to overeat.
Yeah.
Like when they're gone, they're gone.
Yep.
And so that's something that I will do. The other option is, actually, give me 1 second. I'm going to pull it out of my fridge. If I have them.
Quest protein, they make a really good Quest chips, and they're higher in protein. Those are pretty good. You can make nachos with them too. It's very yummy.
So these are Joseph Lavash bread. You can buy this at Walmart. The calories, there's only 60 calories in a half a bread, so 120 in total. So there's only 16 grams of carbs in this whole thing. What's cool about that is what I'll do is I'll cut them up into triangles and I'll put them in a frying pan with a little bit of olive oil or olive oil spray and salt. And they make really good chips. So if I'm making like a salad of some sort, I will make those and make them into strips and then throw them on the top of my salad.
We have a video in our Instagram and she did a how-to with it. If you just scroll down a little bit on our posts.
Yeah. Give me 1 second, guys. My husband just told me that okay, 1 sec. Oh, that's why. Okay, let's see if this fixes it. Let me know. Can you go look? Yeah. Cool. So the Joseph Lavash wraps, they also come in pitas. So I will use those instead of like tortillas. So I'll make like a breakfast taco out of them. In fact, actually I have them right here. So the pitas, one of these, it is only 9 carbs. And the cool thing about it is it also has 6 grams of protein in it. So if you have a hard time getting in your protein, these are awesome. I also use these to make pizza. So when we do pizza night at my house, I'll buy like the big white pita breads for my kids from Costco, or I'll do some other kind of like pizza dough for them. And then for Chris and I do these. And what's nice about this is I can usually have 2 of them because the carbs are so low. There's only 9 carbs in one. So that is really, really easy to fit it in. What else?
For pizza.
Oh, yeah.
So these things, you can get them at Trader Joe's. There's 4 in a pack. For 2 pieces, it's 5 grams of fat, 3 carb, and 9 grams of protein.
That's awesome.
You can stick these in the air fryer for like 400 degrees for like 5 minutes, and you can top them with whatever you want for pizza, and it makes amazing pizzas.
Yep.
They're so good.
We had those on Friday night, actually. So yeah. I think Megan posted about it. I'm like,
I'm going to. I haven't posted it yet.
Well, you're the one that told, or it was Coach Megan. Coach Megan told me about those.
Yes.
And so I went to Trader Joe's and found them, and it's just cauliflower.
Yeah.
So sometimes, like, I don't know if you've been to a restaurant or something where sometimes pizza places will have cauliflower crust options. The problem with getting them at a restaurant is generally they're super high in fat because the way to make cauliflower crust is to add a bunch of cheese so that it sticks together. And so although you may be dropping carbs, you're not necessarily dropping calories because it has a lot of fat in it. So these are straight, it has eggs in it and cauliflower and a little bit of cheese. And so the fat, there's 5 grams of fat, 3 grams of carbs. So pretty good substitution, especially because when we're doing like pizza night at my house, I want my kids to see me generally eating the same thing as them. I don't want them to feel like they have to eat drastically different in order to be healthy. And so I want like whatever they're having, I want to be having somewhat of the same thing so that they can see that the relationship with food is healthy in that way.
Yeah. So the next thing would be bread. There's a lot of really great different kinds of breads that you can do instead of just a regular white bread. If you use a bread that's whole grain, sprouted, or seeds, the high fiber content in the bread, it actually releases the sugar slower into your bloodstream. So it doesn't give you that insulin spike. You can use, my favorite bread is Dave's Killer Bread.
They have a lot of different ones. So this one is just like their white one. So my kids, they call it white bread. It's called white bread done right, but it's actually like whole grain stuff in there. But they also have one that is extra thin.
Yes.
And the macros are awesome like that. I think there's only 12 grams of carbs.
There's 12 carbs. I think there's like 2 or 3 grams of fat, and then there's like 6 grams of protein. Yeah. So they're high in protein too. And the bread is fluffy.
Yeah. It's like
really
nice.
Good.
It's good bread. And so like if you're someone that loves sandwiches or loves toast or likes to have like bread with their dinner or something like that, that's a really good substitution, a good option there.
Yep.
So definitely try that.
Another option that I have done before a couple times that is pretty good. If you like, like avocado toast and stuff like that, you can take sweet potato and you can actually bake it and get it to, so you cut them like kind of thin and you bake it and you can top it with like avocado and stuff like that.
Oh, that's cool.
And it's a pretty good option too.
Have you tried putting it in your air fryer?
I haven't. I was just thinking about that as I'm saying. I'm like, I could probably air fry that and it would be way better.
And faster.
Yes.
Way faster.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yep.
You can also go to like your typical rice cake, or lettuce wrap of some sort. Yep. If I'm eating out and like, let's say, in fact, we were just talking about this today, going to Habit Burger. In fact, weren't we talking with Lauren?
Yeah, I think we were. Oh, okay.
So going to like have the Habit or something like that. I generally always get my burger protein style, so wrapped in lettuce, because I would rather use my carbs to eat French fries or something like that. Yep. I don't care about the bread, but if you're someone that really loves that bun, then definitely get the bun and then find a different side item. So it's just all about what you really, really like. Don't eat the things you don't love, like save that for the things you really like.
Yeah. I have, so I just discovered these. I don't know if you guys have heard of Thrive Market. It's an online grocery store. They have a lot of stuff that you could find at like Sprouts and Trader Joe's and stuff like that. But they also carry their own brand. These are coconut wraps with turmeric, and they're actually really good. They're really sturdy. I make sandwiches in them. I actually made a hamburger in it the other night, and they stick together really well. The taste is really good. It's a great option. 5 grams of fat, 6 carbs, and a gram of protein.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And 2 grams of fiber too. So high in fiber.
You want to show them those?
And then these ones, I make my husband's lunch in these. These are just more of a carb balance. 3 fat, 19 carbs, 5 grams of protein. But they're great. They're fluffy, and breakfast burritos, sandwiches, everything really yummy.
I keep thinking of things.
I know.
As we're talking. And so I keep going over and pulling things out of my cupboards in my fridge. This is another thing I keep on hand. These are regular Mission tortillas, corn tortillas. But if you notice right here, this blue says extra thin.
Oh, I've never
So what's cool about these is you can have 3 for the same calories or macros as 2 of the regulars. And so this is the only kind I buy now. My kids don't even know a difference. The other thing is that because they're slightly thinner, they get kind of crunchy. So if I make a soft taco, I will spray it with Pam and then just like get it a little bit crunchy so that it holds together really well and it doesn't get soggy. They also make really good tostadas. So I'll do the same thing, spray with olive oil, cooking spray, put a little cumin on it, and then stick it in the oven at 400 for like 6 or 7 minutes. And it'll make these tostada shells. And then we top it with like refried beans and any protein that I have. Of course, all the other yummy toppings. Mexican food is kind of a staple in our house because you can, in my opinion, eat quite a bit of it and have it be fairly low calorie and good macros. So we eat a lot of Mexican food. We had burritos tonight.
Yeah.
It's also very fast.
I had tacos tonight.
We had tacos last night. So that's kind of a staple. So those extra thin tortillas you can find anywhere. Except sometimes Walmart, but like Fry's, Safeway, like all of the main grocery stores have those extra thin Mission tortillas.
Cool.
Hopefully you guys are getting lots of ideas.
I know.
We did attach in the email a handbook, like a workbook, so that you can take notes. And if you didn't print it out, you can always watch this back. We will be emailing this out as well as posting it on our social media page tomorrow. So if you want to watch it back and take notes or anything like that, you can. Okay, so let's talk about rice. So white rice is just like a refined version of brown rice. And really the macros are the same. The only difference really is the fiber content. So when you are eating something that's high in fiber, it's going to help with slow down the digestion and keep your blood sugars more level. So the brown rice option, or even like quinoa or amaranth or buckwheat, those are going to be slower digesting. So it's going to keep your blood sugar lower. Plus, I don't know if you guys know this, but women are supposed to get, I'm going to mess it up, 25 grams of fiber, and men are supposed to get like 35 grams of fiber a day.
Yep.
And if you track food in MyFitnessPal, that's something that is very interesting to look at, because if you're not kind of working at it, it's actually kind of hard to get to.
Yeah, it is.
So definitely be looking at your fiber intake. Another option for rice is cauliflower rice. If you guys haven't tried cauliflower rice, please do.
It's so good.
You can flavor it with whatever you want. It
Yep.
takes on the flavoring really well. You can buy it anywhere. Costco has it. I keep referring to Costco because we have a big family, so we go to Costco a lot.
Trader Joe's has it for smaller families. I tried buying it at Costco. It went bad.
Oh yeah. Plus it takes up all your room in your freezer. So the cauliflower rice is a super, super easy way to get in extra vegetables. And if you like the bulk, that's a good way to get it in without all the extra carbs. In fact, Chipotle just started carrying cauliflower rice, and I looked up the nutrition content from it today. So if you get a serving of the cauliflower rice, it's only 7 grams of carbs. Nice. Whereas if you get a serving of their white rice, it's 40 grams of carbs. So it's a huge difference.
And I heard it was really good too. I haven't tried it. Is it? Okay. Maybe
I've had it.
Told me.
It's good. Yeah. I mean, I usually just don't even get rice.
Right. Yeah.
But when I saw they had cauliflower rice, I'm like, it was a night that I was coaching and I was so hungry and I didn't have dinner planned. So I ordered it on the app and picked it up, and I'm like, I'm getting cauliflower rice. And it was so good. And I didn't even realize it was only 7 carbs, but that's awesome. Totally worth it.
Oh, totally.
I'm not a huge rice person unless I'm eating Thai food or something. So the next time I order Thai food, I'm going to be making my own cauliflower rice, because it just isn't worth it to me to eat regular rice. That's not a huge thing for me. I'm not ever craving rice, but if you love rice, then that's fine. Then another option is you can mix the two together, have half a serving of regular rice and then half a serving of cauliflower rice. So you still have the volume, but not as many carbs.
So the next one is pastas. My favorite thing to do instead of pasta is either zucchini noodles or spaghetti squash. I love doing both of those. You can also do it with carrots as well. And then different types of bean pastas. Banza makes a really good bean pasta. Trader Joe's makes no cheese. That's actually a word I can pronounce. Their kale, I've had their kale and their cauliflower, and both of them are really good. Sprouts also carries these guys, miracle noodles. This is the fettuccine style. They are 3 grams of carbs in 3 ounces. So 85
That's
grams.
Awesome.
It's a lot. And then they do this one too, which is another plain one. And then this one is the same, 3 grams of carbs. They make Sprouts has this kind, just the plain, and then they also have flavored ones too, for Thai or
that's cool.
Yeah, and they're really good. I've used them in I've made my own homemade ramen stuff, and I've used them.
Oh, that's a good idea.
And they're really, really yummy.
Those are 2 things that I have never tried. So it's really nice to get ideas from other people. I feel like I have kind of a good understanding, and then I'll talk to someone like Megan and be like, oh, I didn't know that, or I'm gonna have to look for that. In fact, she introduced me to something last week that is now always going to be in my house, and I'm going to share that with you in a little bit. Another thing that I found at Trader Joe's is mashed cauliflower.
Those are really good.
I actually haven't tried it yet. I was going to try it tonight and I ran out of time. But 1 serving, which is a whole cup, is only 7 carbs.
Yep.
2 grams of fat, 2 protein. So we made pork chops the other night, and I was going to make this with it. And then instead I found this homemade mac and cheese stuff. So I had the room, and so I had a little serving of the mac and cheese, and my kids love the mac and cheese. Hey. Hi, sorry, we're on a call. Sorry, my niece just walked in. So anyways, that's another thing. I love roaming the aisles of Trader Joe's because there's always something new.
They have a lot of good stuff.
And sometimes it can be overwhelming. So if you guys want a Trader Joe's list sometime, we would totally put that together for you.
I'm there every Sunday, so I know exactly what they have.
All right, let's talk about drinks. So Energy drinks are like the big craze. My daughter's friend brought her a Monster the other day.
Oh God.
And she's like, I've never had one of these. And I'm like, yeah. She's like, I might have a little bit of. I'm like, yeah, try a little bit, see how you like it. But I know that's like a huge thing. It's mainly for the caffeine, but the sugar content in it is really high. So if you look at 8-ounce serving, generally speaking, there's 25 grams of sugar in 8 ounces, but most of the time the serving size isn't 1 can. There's 2 to 3 servings in that can. So you can have up to 100 grams of sugar in 1 can, which is just crazy.
Yeah.
So coming up with some new or different alternatives to if you get kind of tired of water and having some other options, like I know I get tired of water. I like to have flavored things to drink. So we have lots of ideas. Sometimes I want something with caffeine in it. Sometimes I don't. So we'll kind of give you a couple ideas of both. Let's see, what do I got over here? So these sparkling ice drinks are something that I keep on hand. I know they're not the healthiest, but they give me something flavorful. They do have antioxidants in them. I'll let my kids have these. They kind of think it's soda because we're not huge soda drinkers, but they think it's fun and something different. They also come in caffeinated. You can find them caffeinated as well. So those are something we keep on hand.
Those are really good if you're making cocktails too.
Oh,
yeah,
that's great.
I put my vodka in it.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Fit aids, we carry these at the gym. Fit aid is like in my daily life.
Yeah.
Usually post-workout. The Fit aids are full of BCAAs, B vitamins. Some of them have creatine in them if you're looking for muscle growth. They have electrolytes. This one has turmeric in it, omegas. So they're just full of like a lot of really great things.
Zevia. These are really good. We go through these like water in my household. This one is cola. The dark blue cola has caffeine. The light blue cola does not have caffeine. These are really good. They have cream soda, which is another good one. And then black cherry. They also do a Dr. Pepper flavor too, which is really yummy. It tastes way better than if you were to drink the diet Dr. Pepper.
Yeah, and I actually just tried those this week, and the cream soda one I really like. My kids liked it. The black cherry one's really good too. So those are the 2 flavors I bought this time. I saw them. They were on sale at Sprouts for buy one, get one free.
So and that's like a 10-pack. Buy one, get one free.
10-pack, get one free. So it's pretty good price. So we liked them, and it was a good option. Like my kids are kind of the same way, like where sometimes they want something different than water. And I don't want my kids to feel like they can't have things. So I do like to keep some things that they don't feel like super deprived. Like if you ask them, they don't feel deprived, but yet at the same time, like we aren't the family that goes to fast food and things like that. So I try and make it like kind of a happy medium and not be too like one way or the other.
Yeah.
LaCroix are another option. So one thing I do with LaCroix is they come in all different flavors. The lime one is one that I keep on hand pretty much all the time. What I'll do is I'll grab a lime LaCroix and then add it to like my tumbler and put like, I don't know, like 4 to 6 ounces of water in it. And then I add Zip Fizz to it. So Zip Fizz you can buy at Costco or online. So I'll add Zip Fizz to it. It has a lot of vitamins in it as well. And so it's just something, again, other than water to drink. But because LaCroix is sparkling water, you are actually still getting water intake in. So I count that towards my water. So that's another option. I found these. Oh my gosh. I swear, if I say Costco one more time, somebody actually, Scott Brown, a member of our gym, told me about these protein waters. They were decent. Like I don't know if I'll buy them again, but they say they have 20 grams of protein in them. And they don't taste bad, but they have electrolytes and stuff in them too. So if you're one that has a hard time getting in protein, he started drinking these a lot in the summer when he was outside, because he works at a golf course. And he was outside a lot and he just couldn't stop and eat. And so this is what he would drink to get in some protein and the electrolytes.
Totally. And then other things too, you can do tea, green tea, matcha tea, black tea. I know Sprouts, you can buy like yerba mate tea. Those all have sources of caffeine in them. Coffee, cold brew coffee, sticking to, if you're a coffee person. For me, I love coffee. So there's skinny syrups that I can get at Home Goods and at Tuesday Morning. and I do a little bit, and it gives it just a little bit of flavor, and it sweetens it just a little bit. And then I add the Bubs MCT powder, which is amazing. So yeah, it's nice, simple, and
That's awesome.
yeah.
Okay, so sweet treats, like that's my like downfall.
Same.
And so I have found lots of ways to incorporate sweet treats into my diet because I want to make sure that I'm not restricting too much where I feel like I have to binge when I do have sweet treats. So this is what Meghan introduced me to.
Yeah, they're so good.
They're paleo bars, brownie bars, and they're so good. They don't taste like low carb or low fat or anything. So I what I did last Friday, I made regular brownies for my kids, and then I made these, and I cut them into 16. So that's the serving size. I cut them into 16, and then I put them in my freezer. So I'm actually having one tonight with some keto ice cream that I also found at Sprouts. So just finding way, like I know, Michael, you were saying that you were eating what, Ben and Jerry's?
Yeah.
I'm going to get my ice cream out of my freezer so you can see what I keep. Depending on where my macros are, and you guys don't have to track macros to like know all of this, but sometimes, so I have two ice creams. I have one that's a higher carb, lower fat, and one that's a higher fat, lower carb. So it just depends on what's left in the day for which one I choose. They both are good. And so I will do, and I don't do this every night, but kind of lately I've done it a lot. So just because it's good and like I can fit it in. And so it's just something to kind of keep me feeling like I'm not depriving myself. I also will take those. I love dark chocolate. So Trader Joe's has dark chocolate peanut butter cups that are
They're yummy.
Good.
Yeah.
So I can keep those in the back of my fridge and not like really see them and have like one a night. And it totally does it for me. I have to admit that when I was first like really paying attention to my food and stuff, if I would have had one, I would have had 10. So you just kind of have to know where you're at. Like at this point, I know I can have one and I'll be fine. You just have to decide.
I do this stuff, this yogurt. It is, here you go. Too Good. It's got 2 grams of fat, 3 carbs, and 12 grams of protein. So I take this and I take a half of a G2G bar and a little bit of powdered peanut butter, and I mix all that together, and it is like, it's amazing. It tastes like it has cookie dough in it, and it's kind of got like a pudding consistency, and it's so yummy.
I haven't tried the vanilla ones yet.
It's good. I need to try that. Vanilla and the coconut.
Oh, yum.
The Bash's has the flavor.
Oh, okay.
Those flavors.
I'll have to go grab those.
Yeah.
So those yogurts, there's only 2 carbs in them. So they're
2 carbs.
Super low. So they're a little bit on they're not a very sweet yogurt. But by adding all that other stuff, like you're going to have plenty of flavor.
Yeah.
Okay, here's my ice cream option. So I don't know if you've heard of Halo Top. So Halo Top is kind of like a pretty well-known low calorie ice cream. It's going to be higher in carbs, lower in fat. The vanilla bean though is my favorite. It's really good. So I let it sit out on the counter for like 5 minutes before I eat it. So when it gets a little bit softer, it's better. And then I found these at Sprouts. So the Enlightened brand. Let's see if it'll work. There we go. This one also is going to be a little bit higher on the carb side. It has 14 grams of carbs, 2 fat. But this one is their keto line. So they do have a keto line. This is going to be 17 fat and then 11 carbs of net carbs, which if you're tracking net carbs, basically you just take away sugar, alcohol. So this is going to be higher in your fat. So this one is a peanut butter fudge and it's so good.
Yeah.
And then also my box is kind of smashed, but these Yasso bars,
those are yummy. They
have all different kinds. So this one's vanilla chocolate crunch, but they have a mint chip one that I just bought at Costco, a big box in my outside freezer. So that's another, like, it's just nice to have a few options on hand that are like lighter. This is another thing that I like to have on hand, these Mighty Muffins. And what I do is I just use half of it at a time. And I mix it with like 2 tablespoons of water and put it in the microwave for like 18 seconds. And it turns into this like lava cake.
So good.
So good.
With some ice cream on top.
With the vanilla, with the halo top.
Yeah. A little bit of cream.
Really, really good.
Yeah.
So that's another thing that I'll do. I also will do yogurt with whipped cream on it for a treat. I also will make protein shakes. Like last night I had a peanut butter protein shake with coconut milk in it because I had a lot of fat that I needed to make up. So I did like the whole cream, the can, like a serving of that coconut milk and put whipped cream on top. So good.
Yep.
My kids are always asking if they can have some and I'm like, no. All right. Oh, shoot. One more thing. Sorry. I forgot to tell you. Where's my book? My recipe book.
Oh, yeah. It should be right.
Oh, here it is.
Yeah.
Okay. So I have this recipe book. So if you guys ever want ideas, this Clean Simple Treats recipe book. I've actually tried a couple things in here that are really good. But one thing that is just like a staple in my house and that I almost always have on hand is, let's see if I can find it quickly.
Oh, those balls.
They're cashew coconut macaroons, bites. I will post this. In fact, I think I've posted it before, but when I send the email out, I'll post this recipe. They're so good. So I'll make a batch of this and I'll keep them in my freezer. And so then at night I'll have one ball.
Yeah. I have some in my freezer right now.
They're so good.
Yep.
Do you want to do that one?
Yeah. So one of the best tools for making healthy swaps for both food and recipes is the food option guide. What it does is it helps you with carbs. It kind of helps you with starchy carbs, what types of carbs are low on the glycemic index, what are high. It gives you your proteins, whether it's a fatty protein, a lean protein, your healthy fats, your non-healthy fats. And it just kind of gives you a guideline as to what type of good habits you can start putting into your diet.
Yep. So just looking to educate.
Yeah.
Remember, we're not in the habit of elimination diets. We don't want to tell you can't have something. Our goal is to teach you how everything has a place in our diet as long as we're having it in moderation and we have the education behind knowing what areas our food fall into. Are they a protein? Are they a carb? Are they a fat? And so that we can educate ourselves and know how to eat them in a healthy way. So that's all we have for you tonight. Thank you so much for joining us. We are going to go back and answer any questions you have right now. Let me get to our chat. Okay. Lauren, hopefully you figured out the audio. Okay, so Michael says that he rates himself about a C, needing healthy swaps for ice cream and soda. Do you feel like we answered your questions on that? Or is there anything that you would like us to go over? Do you have a specific question?
No, I don't think so. Those are some great substitutes. So thank you.
Okay, good. Awesome. Okay. So there's only 1,400 carbs in there. That's not bad, Michael. Yeah. So like I said, we're not in the practice of telling you can't have something. I promise you I eat Ben and Jerry's, but
I love Ben and Jerry's.
It's so good. I do try and save it for special occasions. Like Chris and I went to Sedona a couple of months ago for our like Christmas gift to each other. For sure we got Ben and Jerry's and we finished both little containers off. Maybe not our proudest moment, but it's okay.
It's
like you're fine. We're fine. Right.
Yeah.
I'm still here to live and talk about it.
TJ and I have finished.
I was proud.
What, Chris?
I said I was proud of it.
Yeah.
Well, you finished it off a little bit more than I did. It made me sick.
I've been to the factory.
You have?
Yeah. Well, I'm from Maine. It's right in Vermont. So,
that's cool.
Yeah, it's cool. They give you a bunch of samples and then they have all of their ice creams there. And then they have this big, huge, giant one that it's like an eating contest where if you can finish the whole thing, you win things.
No way.
Yeah, it's huge. It's giant. It was actually on a cooking show on Food Network or Travel Channel or something like that.
Gosh,
and it's just like a bunch of flavors and it's.
The one thing that we didn't touch on is, and we talked about it in one of our previous nutrition talks, so I won't go over it in too much detail, but if you want more information, come talk to me. We talked about if you're like a sauce person, we have lots of sauce substitutes that are going to be lower in fat and carbs, things like that.
Yep.
So we can give you lots of different ideas there as well.
Salad dressings too. Sauces
and
salad dressings, tomato, pasta sauces, everything.
Mm-hmm. Any other questions, guys? Okay, we're going to sign off then. Thank you so much for joining us. And as always, if you guys have any nutrition questions or ever want to book a free consultation with us, come and talk to Megan or I, and we'd be happy to help you.
Thank you.
Good night.
Thank you both.
Yeah, no problem.